Started. I hope all is doing well. Good morning. My name is Sandy McDonald, and I'm the director of the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. And we want to welcome you to our CBE outreach with Balfour Beatty. We want to welcome you to getting more information about the convention center expansion. And you're going to hear a little bit today about the proposed hotel. And do know, I said, we want to welcome you and give you more. Folks, we're giving you more information because we've been at this now for over a year, closer to 18 months, closer to 2 years, but let's go back to the 18 months. The point is, we constantly share with our certified firms and also with firms who are considering getting certified that Broward County's intent is to assure that at least 25% of what this county procures, we want to do it with certified small businesses. And though we may have a lot of these meet and greets and outreach dealing with vertical construction and those major projects, A, that's because they're major and they're the majority of the spend, but B, it's also where we are right now. But I don't want you to be remiss. If you are a professional service firm, if you are on the consulting side, if you are on the community outreach side, there's still opportunities through county's procurement, as well as projects like these, for you to participate. We don't always say that everything we certify, there's an opportunity. We would never tell that lie. And we certainly don't guarantee you that you automatically will win. We're not procurement, we can't say that. But we use these outreach and these meet and greet opportunities as a way to remind you and assure you that if you pay attention, if you connect the dots, we're going to introduce you to the opportunities and competitively. And I get to say competitively because I don't have 10 or 15 certified firms. We got over 930 certified firms in our directory. So that means no matter what your industry, there's a good chance there's 2 or 3 other certified small businesses in that industry. And again, groups like Balfour Beatty and other are going to be looking for you based on what their project needs are. So you're here today at this CBE outreach for the expansion of the convention center and the new hotel to hear about where we are today, but more importantly, to hear about some upcoming opportunities where Balfour Beatty and their other subprime contractors want to get to know some of our certified small businesses. That's the part of the process. And if I say process, you know what I mean. I often talk about the 3 Ps: program, process, people. This is a part of the process, making sure we help you understand how to engage contracting opportunities. And from the people's perspective, making sure we introduce you to some of the people, including those who will be looking to hire individuals like yourself. Before the workshop is over today, staff will remind you of a very important meeting that's coming up at the end of this week. We have our new acting public works director, Mr. Trevor Fisher. You want to join us because he's in charge of a lot of agencies and organizations, and you get to meet him. You're going to hear his philosophy of how his agencies work, but you're also going to hear him talk about his commitment to small businesses and creating opportunities. Trevor's been around the county for a while. He was most recently in the transportation division, but before that, he was over in aviation. So he's no stranger to the county. He might be a stranger to you, and now we want to bring him to introduce him. So with that, I'm now getting ready to turn it over to Mr. John Parker, who is a partner of Broward County's, who's a partner of the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, and he's going to make sure he shares information that's invaluable to you about the process and engaging opportunities. And after John's done, I think my assistant director is going to walk you through some other things you must know about our program, especially if you're on here today and you're not certified. So with that, thank you for joining us. And John, the floor is yours, and thank you as always, sir.
Sandy, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. This is really kind of exciting. If you go to the next slide, think about where we were in 2019 to where we were at the beginning of 20. We started this project, the physical construction, in July of 19. We were pressing forward. We had GMP4 turned in, and then the pandemic hit. So it had a significant impact to the project, but even more so to our hopes and desires to reinforce the CVE program. And it's interesting, Sandy, I just heard you say 930. I remember in 2019, when we came to meet with you, there was only 600 CVEs back then. So it
That's
has
about right.
more than 50% increase in size. And I'd hope that we had something to do with that as we create these opportunities as we go through on the project. But for those of you that aren't familiar with the project, it is owned by Broward County. Matthew Southwest is the developer, and then Balfour Beatty is the design builder underneath the developer, Matthew Southwest. And our contract value of the project is worth $860 million right now. Now, the overall project is about $1.1 billion to Broward County, but our portion that we're working on is $860. And it's broken out into 5 main areas, and we're going to go through that. We have some graphics to show you as you go through, but we have the west expansion, which is ongoing, the east expansion, the hotel, the CVB, and the plaza. We started in 2019 with the physical construction. We originally were going to complete in 2023, but due to the pandemic, our estimated completion date now is 2024. And we're going to give you a little insight. Those of you that aren't aware, the county has released us to re-GMP the east and the hotel, and collectively together, that's about 630 million of the 860. We're also going to tell you the dates that it's bidding. GMP4 is going out today. I just released the advertisement a few minutes ago, and the bid date, you might want to write this down, is going to be July the 29th. In the presentation as we go through, you're going to see July 27th, and leading up through yesterday, we were trying to push it a little earlier, but it's going to be July the 29th for the east expansion. And then the estimated bid date for GMP5, which will be released in the next few weeks, will be August 10th. So giving you guys a little inside baseball of what's moving forward. We are required to have 30% CVE participation on the project. And right now we have over 40 CVEs. We have 37 listed on the screen here. And over 50% of the dollars paid to the subcontractors has gone to CVE subcontractors. To give you an idea of what the volume of money is, it's about $38 million that has been paid directly to the CVEs. If you go to the next slide. On the next slide, as we go through the next slide, you'll see some pictures from where we were when we started the project. Actually, where we sit today, I apologize, where we sit today. This site, as you can see from the previous side, the hotel is obviously not built, the east is not built, but the west expansion is ongoing. And we're celebrating the success of all of our CVE partners. Sandy by chance was out here the other day. We were excited. We have one of our shining stars of our group of CVEs is MGM. We awarded them a contract of $11,258,000 at the beginning of this. And if you can see on the left side of the screen is the north side of the site is some of their work. That entire north wall of the project right there that you physically see is by MGM. So it's pretty exciting to see some of the work and the accomplishments our CVs had. If you can go to the next screen, please. This is where we started in 2019 before any work commenced. And you can see that we have the portside building. We have Terminal 1 is out there by the boat, by the water, as well as the storage facility on the east side. We hired a CVE demo contractor to demo all of that work, as well as the 6-story parking garage we've removed 1/3 of that parking garage. So if you go to the next screen, you can see the significance between the two pictures. So the one on the left is where we started. The one on the right is where we sit today. A lot of this work on the site side is going to be ongoing, and we're going to talk about the GMPs 4 and 5. But that existing convention center and that west expansion turns over on October 15th. And the first show that loads is the world's largest boat show. So on October 16th, they start loading the boat show. To give you an idea of the significance of the boat show, it brings in 2019, it brought in $1.3 billion. Your average Super Bowl brings in about $800 million a year, $800 million in revenue per Super Bowl. Now, how many Super Bowls do you have in a city? Not very much. But with the boat show, they have an agreement with Broward County to have a boat show every year for the next 30 years. So in 2019, it brought in $1.3 billion in revenue. So it is a significant impact to the community. And we're getting ready to open it up. And the first show inside of the new convention center will be the world's largest boat show. So that's pretty exciting. All of this has been accomplished with 50% of the dollars being paid to date directly to CVEs. Excuse me. So we wanted to do a little bit of celebrating of the CVEs of what they've accomplished and what we're encouraging those of you that are CVEs, are looking to become CVEs, of what the opportunities are on this project. You go to the next slide, please. In order for us to communicate to some of the CVEs, we like to use a lot of technology to communicate to the CVEs to make sure their scopes of work are covered and to make sure that we're not only giving you work, but we're also helping you build your company to become larger. The ultimate goal is to get into the CVE program and for your business to grow and ultimately graduate from the CVE program. Some of the tools we use is a program called Open Space. So on the left side of the screen, you can see the convention center before we demoed the north wall, and that's the central energy plant. For lack of better terms, that is the heart, the lung, and the brains of the building. And we had to remove that in order to build the expansion in the hotel. We spent a lot of time communicating to our trade partners, our CVE partners, of what the impacts would be to the existing building and the future construction. So on the right-hand side of the screen, we were able to show them what the building would look like in that area once the central energy plant was removed. And by doing so, you can see on the top part of the right picture, it exposes the inside of the existing facility. So when you remove the heart, the lungs, and the brain, and then you remove the skin of it, there is a chance that you become or get the building unhealthy or sick. So we spent a lot of time up front making sure that we're protecting the existing building and educating our CVEs of what it would take to be able to do this work. And today we've been really successful. So we're pretty excited about that. If you go to the next picture, the next slide. So as we progress forward, and I don't want to say the pandemic is behind us, but for our outlook in the future and the opportunities, the CVEs on this project, we're looking forward to the future of adding more work beyond the pandemic. And this picture represents this rendering of what the holistic project looks like. So the pictures you saw a minute ago, if you are on the top right hand side of the screen, you can see the gray area behind the existing facility. If you could highlight that for me, please. A little bit of technical difficulties. There we go. So that's what you see in the pictures in the past. That gray area on the west side, that is the ongoing construction. The hotel that you see onto the right side of the screen, that's what's coming up to bid. That will bid on August 10th. We're going to get into more details of that. Then just to the east of the hotel is the plaza. The plaza has 3 restaurants in it. And then we have the east expansion that's just south of the plaza as we move forward. And between that, the existing facility and what we're building now will make up the overall project. Give you an idea of the significance of size. The convention center went from 600,000 square feet in this picture to 1.2 million square feet. The hotel is just over 1 million square feet, and that plaza is 8 acres. So it is a significant project. Can you go to the next slide, please? So I've taken a chance or a shot at breaking it down to educate on everybody on what the different GMPs there are moving forward. And this will be in the documents that you'll be looking at to bid. So GMP 4 is the highlighted area in yellow. That will be first to go for a bid day is again, July the 29th. I apologize, we have July 27th up there, and that's the date we were shooting for, but the advertisement is going out today. It'll show up either Friday or Monday, and it'll run continuously through the 28th. But the bid day for the work in yellow will be July the 29th. The area in blue is GMP 5, and that area will bid on August 10th, is what's listed on there. The area that's in the orange color is what's ongoing. That work has already been awarded and we are ongoing. And that's the one we're pleased to say that over 50% of the dollars paid to date to subcontracted work has gone to CBE. So that's a significant accomplishment. You go to the next slide, please. This is a picture, and I have a screen there in the bottom right-hand corner to give you an idea of where you're at. But you're looking from the hotel towards the south and east, and that is the front face of the east expansion. So that is the convention center expansion to the east. And you see the road is running and goes underneath the building. That is a connection bridge between the east expansion and the existing facility. This building is approximately 400,000 square feet. It includes a 65,000 square foot ballroom, a 22,000 square foot junior ballroom, and about 50,000 square feet of meeting space. It also houses on the third floor the kitchen for the existing, the west expansion we've built, as well as the east expansion, and the future expansion that will go vertical that is not in our contract. That kitchen will support what will ultimately be 1.5 million square feet of convention space. So it is a significant kitchen. The building is a structural steel building with glazing. There are not a lot of structural steel buildings here in South Florida. Most everything is made out of concrete. So this is a unique opportunity. We're also looking from a CBE standpoint. Can we break that building down into bite-sized pieces for the smaller CBEs? The 65,000 square foot ballroom, could we break that ballroom out and allow the CBEs to do a finish or bid the finishes in that work? The same thing with the junior ballroom, the meeting space, and award the kitchen to a CBE contractor. We're looking very hard in the coming weeks to develop and finalize our scopes of work, and they will be issued a couple of weeks before bid day, and we'll have another CBE outreach to educate you guys on those packages as we move forward. But it's a little bit of detail on the east expansion. If you go to the next slide. This is a view from the existing convention center due east. So you can see the glazed wall on the east expansion on the right. It's just a different time of day. You get an idea of what the plaza looks like and a feel for the project. You go to the next slide, please. The next slide should bring us into the pre-function area. One of the unique aspects of Fort Lauderdale and Broward County is having the ocean right there. That nautical feel is one of the great things about the area. So we spent a lot of time with our design, making sure we capitalize on the views. So this is the far east side of the east expansion. And you can see the intercoastal, and on the left there, you see the 17th Street Causeway. The ballroom is just to the south of this, just to the right of the picture, the ballroom. And the ballroom has that same window glazed opening where you can see the ships coming in right through the mouth of the intercoastal and watch the ships park into Terminal 2, as well as just having amazing views out there when the ships are not coming in. So just to give you an idea. But what we're looking at in this picture is breaking out a pre-function area. Could we break that pre-function area out to allow a CVE to do the work in that pre-function? And that's what we're looking at in our scope. So just another example of breakouts. Can you go to the next slide, please? This view is from the corner of Grand Avenue, looking east, southeast. On the left is the 17th Street Causeway. This is the main entrance as you pull into the future hotel and convention center. You're looking at the new sailfish pond. If you guys are familiar with what was existing at the convention center before we demoed it, is the sailfish, the world famous sailfish pond. We saved the sailfish, and we're going to build a new pond, and we're going to put that same sailfish back into this pond, that iconic sailfish that represents Broward County, the city of Fort Lauderdale, and this convention center. You will see that as you pull into the complex. In the background, the reason why I wanted to bring this picture up is that's one of 2 restaurants that we're going to build in the plaza. And that's another opportunity. Each one of the restaurants are approximately 5,000 square feet. We think it's a great opportunity for a CVE to come in and be a general contractor to that work, or to have a general contractor CVE, then hire smaller CVEs to come in and do some portion of that 5,000 square feet. So you'll see that in our bid packages as we break out. Also, the plaza is about 8 acres. So you can see the area there with all the palm trees and the hardscape. That's another area that we feel will be a great opportunity for CVE to be able to go in and do some of that hardscape, as well as the landscaping, irrigation. There's sound, there's lighting, there's all kinds of opportunities in there to create packages that that you would be able to bid on and be able to bond on. Can you go to the next slide, please? This is the hotel. This is GMP5. The hotel is approximately, it's just over 1 million square feet. I tell you, it's 1,012,000 square feet to be exact. It is 29 levels tall. It is a mixture of a concrete and structural steel building that you see. The flagship is Omni. The owner is Broward County. The operator will be Omni Hotels. On the 29th floor is a bar that will overlook the ocean as well as downtown. Then on the first level, we have 3 different bars. We have a all-day dining restaurant on the far east side. We have a general bar that is in the northeast corner of the first floor. And then the side that you see here, right on the other side of the CVB, is a entertainment bar that will be on there. It is designed to manage all of the folks that are coming off of the convention center into the hotel. So these are pretty significant spaces. As well as we have a 30,000 square foot ballroom in there, a 20,000 square foot ballroom, and about 50,000 square feet of meeting space. The hotel tower has 800 guest rooms. We're working on finalizing our scopes of work to break out each of those areas so that the CVEs can bid on that work. We're looking at the building as 2 major chunks. There's the tower that you see sticking out, and then the podium, which is in the lower section. Then we're taking those 2 huge chunks that are about 500,000 square feet apiece and breaking them down into smaller packages to allow CVEs to bid on the work. And then if you look in the kind of the center of the screen, the intersection right there is 17th Street and Eisenhower. And that is the Cvv building that you see there. The Cvv building is part of GMP4. It just happens to sit on that piece of the lot. The hotel stands behind it. That is a standalone building. It's about 25,000 square feet. It's a structural steel building. It is surrounded by glazing, and it is basically an office building. for the County Visitors Bureau. This is another opportunity for a CVE general contractor to be able to award that work to them and then have other smaller CVEs work for them to do this work. So we've designed it in a way to break it out for the CVEs, and now we're getting ready to bid it out, and we have clear delineation lines between these areas to be able for CVEs to bid on the work. Can you go to the next slide, please? As we progress forward, it is a tight window. The county is in a tight timeline to get to the bond market to keep the project moving forward. So we wanted to spend a little bit of time of what it's going to take to estimate on the job. We put up the 16 divisions. We're using the 33 divisions, but historically the 16 divisions is easier to go through. Every one of these areas, this is just a sample. Anything you can think of to build a building will be in here. We also have the FF&E package, which is the furniture, fixtures, and accessories. The easiest way to say it is you take the building and turn it upside down. Everything that falls out is FF&E. That is managed by Matthew Southwest, the developer, and they are also working to get 30% CVE in their work as well. Goods and services that come to the site. When we order food, we order flyers, we order material, anything else, it goes beyond construction, but these are the samples from a construction standpoint as we move forward. Can you go to the next slide, please? In order to bid work on the job directly with Balfour Beatty, it's important that you pay attention to the first link that's on here. It's the pre-qualification link. So you go to prequal.balfourbeattyus.com and get pre-qualified. Any contract value over $250,000, you have to get pre-qualified. Now we do break it down into two packages. Pre-qualification for less than $500,000. There may be a lot of you that fall within that range. And then there's pre-qualification requirements for more than $500,000, of which some of you may qualify for that work as well. Go in now and go into the system. If you think you're going to contract direct with us and not direct with a prime contractor, which we'll talk about in a second, you want to go in there and do that. It is a requirement. We will not award work to a company that does not provide us at least 30% CVEs. And that is the minimum, folks. We're asking to do more than that. Right now, our mechanical contractor is over 40%. Our electrical contractor is over 40%. So we have some significant contracts that we have ongoing right now with well beyond the 30%. The estimating bid dates, again, I apologize, it's not 7/27, it is 7/29 for the East expansion. And then GMP5 is 8/10. As we progress forward, if we have any addenda or anything else, we will be advertising that. We have our estimating system that we communicate the information out on a daily basis. There is a contact name and number on the last slide that I have for Warren McCraw that you want to reach out to and make sure you get connected with our building connected system. The building connecting system is the software that we use to communicate on a daily basis. We'll also be re-advertising to make sure everybody's looking up the link for any changes for the documents that we have. There is an RFI process as we estimate. If you have questions, they will all go to Warren McCraw. Warren will compile those questions and get it back out to the team. The RFIs will be posted, so everyone will see them, but I would encourage you to ask the questions. There is a post-bid interview process. We will award the work on best value. It is not the lowest price. It is the best value, the best partner to ensure the counties, the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, as well as Balfour Beatty's success on this project. We don't want anyone to fail on this job. So the post-bid interviews are very extensive. You will be coming in and meeting with my team. I have about 36 individuals working on the job right now. We will be subdividing that out and meeting with you, asking a lot of questions. Make sure you're prepared for that. And then we need you to remember, we do have a master development agreement with Fort Lauderdale and the county of Broward County. And the prevailing wage and certified payroll is required. So it is a prevailing wage job, and we will be tracking certified payroll with our system. At the bottom of the screen, you'll see our schedule. The county has released us to put the piles in for the east expansion. That work was awarded already. It was awarded pre-pandemic, and we are moving forward with piles on the east expansion. The same with the piles on the hotel. That GMP was ready to go pre-pandemic, and the county is getting ready to release us to give us an NTP for that work. The east expansion overall time frame, and I can't see it on the screen here, I apologize. I hope everyone else can see it. The overall time frame is about 27 months to build the east expansion. And then we have about 37 months to 40 months to build the hotel. The reason I say that, it's really important right now that if you're not a CBE currently, maybe you don't even own a business currently and you're watching this video, I think it's important that you look at the timelines we're doing the work. You could start a business today, and 12 months from today, get certified as a Broward County business, and then come over here and do work as a CBE on this job. And you could be awarded work that won't be built for 24 months. For example, some of the finishes that inside the tower, the mill work, things like that, the FF&E. There's plenty of opportunities for you to start thinking about what's going to happen at turnover. And I know that Broward County is dedicated, once we turn it over, that if you're an entrepreneur or a restaurant entrepreneur, something of that nature, there's going to be opportunities for you to work inside of this facility once we turn it over. So the operator of the existing facility is ASM Global. The operator of the hotel is Omni. And inside those spaces will be opportunities for you to have a business within that space, as well as the restaurants that are out front. They're the two restaurants that we're going to build in the plaza area. The county is going to be looking for opportunities to move forward for CBEs to be operating inside of this facility when you turn it over. So if you're not a CBE today and you want to get involved with construction, you want to go get enrolled. If you don't have a business, you want to start a business today. If you want to be inside of this operating facility, you have plenty of time to go and get the experience, start your business, and then put yourself in an opportunity to be able to have a business inside of these facilities when they turn over. So those are the exciting opportunities as we move forward. If you go to the last slide. Please write down the estimating contact person. His name is Warren McCraw. Pardon me. He is in our plantation office. That is his phone number and his email address. This information also will be in the advertisement that will show up in the Sun Sentinel either this Friday or Monday, as well as if you're already enrolled with our Building Connected through Balfour Beatty, this information will go out from there as well. I'm sure that Oswaldo will appreciate me giving his name. Oswaldo has been our point of contact with the Office of Economic and Small Business Development as we go forward. So if you have questions with that, we would be happy to answer your questions from a contracting side and then get you in contact with Oswaldo to figure out what you need to do on the Office of Economic and Small Business Development side. Sandy, Ms. McCall, Maribel, and everyone else has been an absolute partner through this. They've helped educate us on what we needed to do to be successful, and we've taken it a step further, and we're really pushing very hard to go well beyond the 30% goal. So we appreciate everyone's time today. And Sandy, thank you very much. I'll turn it back over to you guys.
Thank you, John, for that excellent presentation. And now you can see why we said that John is a true partner with this office, right? He understands the program. He understands the intent of the program. And they have gone above and beyond to exceed basically our expectations. This project has a 30% goal, and they are at 50% at this time. Thank you so much, John, for that detailed overview. We are really excited about this project. I hope all of you are excited as well. We have over 120 participants in today's meeting, and we want to hear from you. You can type your questions on the Q&A tab. Please type your questions. We're gonna make sure we answer all your questions. John is gonna stay with us to answer questions after our presentation. Also, we have a chat where we're sharing information about the contacts, the websites, how to get pre-qualified. So you can go to the chat to see all that information as well. We want to keep you engaged and we want to answer all your questions. So if all of you can go to the chat, I really want to know who we have today. We have over 120 participants. I want to know how many of you are certified with us. You can type your certification, SBE, CVE, and how many of you are thinking about getting certified? You're still thinking about it, but you will be a new CVE or SBE. You can type that information on the chat so we can have a general idea of who we have here today. OESBD, our Office of Economic and Small Business Development, is a small business focused office, and we promote business growth and job creation. We have excellent business development programs for entrepreneurs and small businesses. And we are a service agency. We work hand in hand with our purchasing department, with the airport, the port, Convention and Visitors Bureau, and all our county agencies and community partners to find opportunities to support our Broward County small businesses. Next. Now, why do we do that? Next slide, please. Here you can see our goals. We have the Broward County Board of County Commissioners, Mayor Geller, Vice Mayor Udine, and all our commissioners are strong advocates for Broward County small businesses, for promoting workforce development opportunities for our residents and businesses, and for contributing to our local economy. We have a Business Opportunity Act that has been adopted by our Broward County Board of County Commissioners. It's an ordinance that basically requires that all county procurement is evaluated to establish at least a 25% small business participation goal. Did you hear that? At least 25% of all my county contracts can have a requirement for our small business participation program. John mentioned that the convention center has a 30% CVE goal participation. And sometimes we have projects that may have a higher goal, 40%, 50%, etc., depending on the type of project. Now, why do we do that? Next slide, please. Basically, we do that because more than 90% of Broward County businesses are small. As you can see here, almost 90% of Broward County small businesses have 20 employees or less, and 99% have 500 employees or less. So it is critical that we support our Broward County small businesses. Next slide, please. And today we're going to talk about that certification that we mentioned is going to be the passport for you to be able to access not only contracts with the convention center, but with the billions of dollars that Broward County invests on an annual basis. We have a certification program that is race and gender neutral. It is the Small Business Enterprise, or SBE, and the County Business Enterprise, or CVE. And on the next slide, you're going to be able to see the eligibility requirements for those two certifications. So if you're thinking about getting certified, you must have a Broward County business tax receipt, and you need to be in operation in Broward County for at least 1 year before you apply for the certification. You must have a physical address here in Broward County, no PO box or business service center. Home-based businesses are eligible, but of course we require the business tax receipt from your city as well in order to verify that you're complying with the zoning requirements within your city. And you must employ at least one full-time employee, and that could be the business owner. And again, very important, you must have a continuous operating presence in Broward County for that 1 year prior to certification application. Next slide, please. On the next slide, you'll be able to see side by side our two programs and basically the requirements. So my SBE Reserve is a program that allows me, this certification allows me to reserve 100% of these projects that are $250,000 or less for my SBE certified companies. Let me say that again, 100% of my project can be reserved for my SBEs. At this time, we have a series of janitorial contracts that are being evaluated, and they are reserved for my SBEs. We also have security services and many others. We're always looking for increased opportunities to reserve projects for our certified small businesses. These are for projects that are $250,000 or less. The personal net worth for both certifications is less than $1.32 million. For the SBE, that's my Small Business Enterprise Program, 15 employees or less. The average gross revenues, depending on the industry, $3 million for construction services, $1 million for contractual services, and $500,000 for professional services. I noticed there was a question related to professional services on the Q&A, so we'll get to that question in a little bit. For my CVE program, project values more than $250,000. And this program is the one that I'm able to assign at least 25% for my CVE certified companies. And remember, this is a requirement. Every county procurement comes through my office to evaluate for our CVE program. And the personal net worth is the same, 1.32 million, and 25 employees or less. And the average gross revenues for my CVE program for construction is 9 million, and for all other services is 5 million. Next slide, please. And if you have any questions about the eligibility requirement, we are here to assist you. You can call our office. We're going to be providing the details of how to contact us in a little bit. Now, our certification application, it is now online, and these are the documents you need to submit as part of your certification application. You can access our application 24/7, it's available online. And these are the documents, again, that you have to provide. We have the checklist on our website, so you're able to go in advance, review the documents that are needed, make sure you have all your documents saved electronically, because you will be able to upload all those documents at the end of the application. We also have an online tutorial that walks you through the process of completing that application. It's approximately 20-25 minutes, and it's, again, very detailed. We go step by step through each one of the questions to make sure that you have all the information you need to submit a successful application. We have 30 business days from the day the complete application is received to process your application. You heard today some of the deadlines for the bids that are coming up. So if you're thinking about getting certified, we encourage you to submit your application as soon as possible. Again, we are here to assist you through that process if you have any questions. But our system, our certification application process is completely online. Next. We want you to stay engaged. We want you to connect with our office. We have business development workshops and meet and greets just like this one on a regular basis, weekly, bi-weekly. And we want you to sign up to receive our Business Assistance Weekly. This is a newsletter that goes out every Wednesday night with really important information from our director on the latest news, the latest information, grant opportunities, business development workshops, and really important information that you need to know. And we also have our calendar of events for this office and our community partners. So we definitely encourage you to sign up to receive our Business Assistance Weekly newsletter. Next slide, please. And now we're gonna have a survey. We have a lot of questions. We're gonna get to all your questions in a little bit, but we wanna share a survey with you. It's gonna come up in a little bit. And if you can just very quickly, it's gonna be really brief, answer those questions. And as soon, we'll give you a few seconds to answer the questions, and then we will proceed. And there it is. If you can please answer these questions, because we wanna hear from you. We customize our programming to your needs. We want to know if you found this workshop helpful, and what additional suggestions you may have for future programming from this office. All our services are free. And again, we want to hear from you. And now we're going to move into our Q&A portion of the program this morning. Again, we have over 120 participants today. We want to thank you for joining us. And now we're going to move into the Q&A. And I think Vanetta is going to be facilitating that process. And John is here to help us also answer some of the questions that are related to the project. Vanetta?
Good afternoon, everyone. We will get right into it. The first question from Michael Anderson. Are there any professional services opportunities associated with any of these solicitations?
Professional services, could you be a little bit more specific? I'll start talking to professional services. There's a company like we use Pride Staff, and they provide professional staffing on the project. It could be accounting, all the way down to Sharonda Neal. It's one of my favorite people on the project. Sharonda is cleaning our office here on a daily basis. So other professional services that we have, there's a multitude of them. Could you be more specific?
I'm not certain if Mr. Anderson would like to provide an addendum to his question. Maybe he can go ahead and respond in the Q&A to add. I don't see anything
I'll help
just
out.
yet.
There's other professional services. I'll try to answer the question a little bit more. TAJ Realty. Oh, I apologize if I got that wrong. But we use them to help find our office space. Our office is directly across the street on 17th Street, the old Art Institute. And we used a professional real estate associate to help us find our space. We use for our signage. I mean, we're doing a lot of things outside of construction with professional services. The catering on our project here in the office, we're using that. But if you could be more specific,
John, it looks like Mr. Anderson responded to a question a little bit later, and looks like he is with Abstract HR.
So that's great. So there's HR. I'm assuming they're helping provide staffing or the human resource aspects of the project. There are opportunities for that. We're looking to some of the companies that use Pride Staff as an example a minute ago. I would recommend them from a staffing standpoint, not just for us. If you think about the staffing side of things from the subcontractors are probably looking for people right now. The market is doing well. I would use a company like Pride Staff to help fill in the gaps. This HR may be able to do something similar to that as well.
Okay. He also noted that they recruit workers, conduct public electronic surveys, and do compensation work.
That may be an opportunity as we do outreaches and things like that for them to come in and help us with the outreaches. So do me a favor, reach out to Warren McCraw and give a little bit of information to Warren and an email, and then we're compiling those emails and putting it into a categorization within our system so we know where to pull from to get people to bid on that work.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Erica. She notes, I'm a CBE and know I have to report certified payroll for this. What's the report name we have to fill out?
I love it when you ask hard questions. It is called LCP Tracker. It's the software that we use. So what we'll do is when we advertise for the bid, you're going to see the drawings. Eventually, we'll put the scopes of services out. We'll have some information on LCP Tracker so you can get educated on it. If you're ultimately awarded the work, it's a fairly simple program. You'll get a link to the program. You go up and you'll put in the certified payroll, and it tracks it that way. Typically, it's a little bit in arrears, but it does make it easier for the subcontractors as well as us to communicate with each other, because the software does track information. It'll tell you what you're missing and it'll help you fill it out.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Carrie Wright. Are there any opportunities for construction scheduling services for a CBE?
Absolutely. That is a very interesting question. No one has asked that before. I have one full-time scheduler on the project now. As we move forward with the project, I'm at least going to need one more scheduler. That may be an opportunity that that we augment our staff with this group. And I'm going to repeat myself a few times, but as a repository for information, send that over to Warren McCraw and put it in from the outreach that I recommended you send that email to Warren and talk about the scheduling side of things.
Thank you. Another question from Erica. Well, I believe it's more of a comment. She cannot find the bid package on Periscope for these upcoming projects. She heard they were coming out to bid, but on the search bar, she cannot find it for them to start downloading the documents and start their bidding process.
I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to break the rules here a little bit, and I'm going to help you guys out. I am going to send an email. If you give me 10 seconds to find my email, I'll send it to Pam, and Pam can put it on the screen. I just got this link from our estimating department this morning to put the advertisement out. So bear with me one more second.
And we're also going to be emailing all our participants the link to the recording for this meeting and the information that we have been sharing on the chat related to the contact information, etc. And we'll make sure that we get to all of you the information that John is emailing now.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you, Maribel.
So Pam, I'm not even putting anything in the subject line, but that link you can put up right now, and all of you, you guys are going to get a jump start onto the documents that the public does not have. So I'm going to break the rules a little bit.
Thank you, John. Our next question, while that is being taken care of, is from Basil Bernard. Who would I contact regarding office and public area furniture?
So that is actually running through Matthew Southwest. And during our last outreach, someone else asked the same question. What I'd like to do is get Warren to receive that email, and then we'll forward it to Matthew Southwest, the developer. The FF&E is currently not under our contract. There is a significant amount of FF&E. To give you an idea, it could be plus $50 million on the overall project. So absolutely reach out to them. Also in the email, do me a favor. My staff is sitting at about 36 right now. We're going to be close to 70 from Balfour Beatty side before we're done with the project. I am going to need some office furniture in our office. So also put that down there so that Warren can forward the information over to Lisa Falso, who's my assistant. But we will be looking for, it'll be a smaller amount of furniture, but we'll be looking for furniture in our office. But the FF&E for the project, or is the biggest opportunity, it'll be through Matthews, and we'll share your information with Matthews.
Okay, great. Next question is from Nania Marcial. We are a Broward CBE communications and public outreach firm. Does the pre-qualification requirement apply to us as communication sub-consultants?
No, from a communication standpoint, and I'm going to take a second to give a shout out to Lisa Colon. Lisa Colon is our outside counsel that we work with on the project, and is helping us with the outreaches. I would ask that you reach out to Lisa Colon direct, and Lisa's contact information should be on the screen, and then we can try to figure out how we could incorporate in some of our outreach and communication from an outside source. I'm okay with that. So that would not be a bidding, that would just be us looking at what's the best fit for us in there. So Lisa, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask them to reach out to you.
No problem. I will put my information in the chat.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not just me working on this. It's Ernest Deloach is my co-chair from the CBE standpoint for Balfour Beatty. And then Ernest happens to be our in-house counsel. He is not able to participate with everything. So he asked Lisa Colon to join us. So between the three of us, we're masterminding the CBEs and making sure we're maximizing on the opportunities moving forward for those of you that do not know.
Thank you. The next question comes from Veronica Vidal. Final cleaning and exterior window cleaning will be Division 1. Would that be handled by the CBEs or the Prime GC?
I think final cleaning is a great opportunity for you, and I'm going to give you a little inside baseball on the final clean. I don't think the county has hired someone to clean the existing convention center. So we have work that we've added on, and we have awarded that final cleaning to someone, but I think there's going to be some more final clean that's coming forward. Get your name over to Warren McCraw. And I have a feeling that the county is going to be asking us to go out and award that work for the pre-function area prior to the boat show. So I think that's coming, as well as on the hotel in the east. We'll get the final construction, and then we'll do the final cleaning. And if you can see those buildings, they're all covered with glazing. Absolutely, that would be a perfect opportunity for CBE.
Okay, great. Next question from Sidania Musset. Hello, my CBE offers uniforms, branded apparel, and promotional products. We are not a construction company. However, we can supply safety clothing and gear and branded supplies. Is there any contract or subcontract opportunity for us?
Yes, I need you to contact Lisa Falso, who is my assistant, not Lisa Clone, but Lisa Falso. I'm actually looking at doing a little celebration for the workers on site. We're going to want to order some t-shirts for that, as well as we're constantly ordering safety material and supplies. So they just put Lisa's contact information up on the screen. So reach out to Lisa when it comes to just that specific subject with apparel and logos and things like that. We're always looking for an opportunity to order that.
Great. Maribel, we had a question from Alex with Top Cat. They're looking to get certified and they provide demolition services.
Yeah, I believe they wanted to know what they needed to do, right?
Yes.
Yes, you need to contact our office and go online. We have the information on our website. We'll be glad to share. I think the last slide had the information. We'll make sure we type our website, www.broward.org/ecomdev. If you go to our website, you'll be able to access our online certification application portal and complete your application. We have an online tutorial that will walk you through the process. But if you have any questions as you're gathering your information that you need to upload, please feel free to call our office 954-357-6400, and we'll walk you through that process and assist you.
Great. Thank you, Maribel. Our next question is from Garrett Sizek. We are a minority female-owned security and staffing company, and we will be registering ASAP. My question is, do you see a need for security for these projects?
Yes. And there's different types of security. So I'll be looking for security for the construction aspect of it. The hotel does have some high-end finishes, as well as the east expansion, and we're going to have security needs, not during the structure portion of it, but as we start to move forward. There's the folks that without a home that live in the area. We want to make sure that they're protected and safe. They don't need to be on the construction site. There's that aspect, all the way till we start putting products inside the hotel to make sure they're protected during construction work hours and off hours. So we'll be looking for that, as well as the existing operator, ASM Global, as well as the hotel. That's a great opportunity after turnover to look at the security services as well. Reach out, and I apologize for like a broken record, but make sure you reach out and send an email to Warren so that we get your information. And I'll be looking to award that work during these GMPs coming up. So there will be a significant amount of money over the course of the job for security. I mean, relatively speaking to the construction.
Okay, great. Next question, I believe, is for Maribel from James Thurmond. My business currently is certified as an SBE in Miami-Dade County. What do we need to do to certify as SBE in Broward County?
Yes, at this time, we do not have a reciprocity agreement with Miami-Dade County. And for that reason, you would have to submit a new application with us. If you have been in operation in Broward County for at least 1 year, you could be eligible for our program. So we definitely encourage you to apply. If you have any questions about that requirement, please feel free to call us. Again, 357-6400, and we can explain that requirement.
Great. Next question comes from Robert Calamia. How do we find out who is already awarded contracts so we can solicit our CSB services if we are not able to participate in the suggested RFI or RFPs since we offer professional services?
That's a good question. A list of the current contractors that are awarded on site. If you don't mind, let me give that list back to the Office of Economic and Small Business Development, and we'll get that out to the group. I'm going to need to get somebody to pull that information out. So not only do you have a company name, but a contact name, number, and an email address to reach out to. So if you don't mind, we'll follow back up from this meeting and provide that information.
Great, thank you. Next question comes from Zia Siddiqui. Could we get a prime contractors list to contact them directly?
I think that was pretty much the same question as what I heard last go around. So the contact information I have will be everybody that's contracted directly with us. So we'll get that list out. It'll be the name of the company. I'll ask our guys to go a little bit further to say what their scope of work is, as well as the contact name and number and email address.
Thank
so
you.
I'll follow back up. If you guys just give me a couple of days, we'll circle back around with them to give that list.
Okay, next question comes from Abigail. Hello, my name is Abigail and I'm a minority and woman looking to get certified with Broward County. My question is regarding companies like mine who are purely installation companies. We do not construct. How can I bid on installation of signage, signs, fixtures, etc.?
Well, you know, it's interesting you say signage. I know that Chris Barron, our senior project manager, just awarded the sign package on this project within the last, I don't know, 60 days or so. I'm wondering who they have from an installation standpoint from a CVE. I don't know if we gave you Chris Barron's contact information last go around, Maribel. If you do, that's great. If not, I will. I don't have his email address off the top of my head, but we'll get that over and put it onto the post for whatever comes from the site. But I think it would be a good idea to reach out for the work that we've awarded. I would like to know what their CBE participation is. So an installation side of that would be great. When we go to the hotel, there is a significant signage package, and there's no reason that a sign company that is not a CBE could not award that for the installation portion of it. Same with the east. And then there's going to be what they call wayfinding signage out into the plaza area. So more of a monumental type signage. And if you install those as well, that would be a great opportunity. I think if you bid on that, it would be with them. It would be with those signage companies. So as we progress forward during the bidding process, I don't know we're going to know who those companies are until bid day, the ones that turn in a bid. But I think that if you reach out to Warren McCraw and ask Warren for a list of these signage companies that we have listed in our system, he can give you that list and you'll be able to reach out to them prior to bid day to find out who's bidding. As we get closer to bid day, I would reach out to Warren and ask for a list of subs that say they're going to bid on it, that is in our system, and they'll be able to give you that information as well, so you can narrow the list down a little bit. That'll give you a chance to reach out to them and try to become, and really that's the intent of this program a little bit, is to try to find out some of that meet and greet. Who are the ones that are bidding on it? Put your name in the hat so that when they're awarded the work, we can get an LOI with your name on there.
Great. Next question is from Robert Calamia, and this might be something that might have been addressed before, but we'll pose the question nonetheless. Who do I contact to see if they will allow us to do their staffing or payrolling? We can monitor prevailing wage and certify payroll.
All right, so Robert is one of the owners of Pride Staff, and we're really happy to say that we helped Pride Staff get recertified as a CVE back in 2019, allowing them to bid work on the project. And they have been an ongoing partner of ours out here. They're one of a couple of staffing companies that we utilize. So I would encourage Robert and other staffing companies out there to reach out to Warren and do this something similar to what we're talking about for future work for the signage. Reach out to Warren and get a list of subs that we've sent the information out through our software. Those are the ones that we have reached out direct that are in our system. So if you get qualified or reach out into our estimating software, and you'll be able to get that information through Warren, we can give you a list of subs that we're sending the information to. As we get closer to bid day, we'll be able to find out which of those subs are saying yes to bidding on the work. And then you can narrow your list down to reach out to those prime contractors to figure out how you can help them. And then as we start to head into submitting the GMPs, we may need help as well from some of the staffing companies. We may be a little short. We may be looking for some staff. So we'll be reaching out to you to look at some of those folks that we're going to need from a professional services standpoint for Balfour.
Great, thank you. Next question is from Michael Anderson. What are the recommended errors and omissions in general liability insurance levels?
Can you ask that one more time? I'm sorry, I want to make sure I answer this correctly.
Okay, no problem. What are the recommended errors and omissions and general liability insurance levels?
Okay, and when you said errors and omissions, it's caught me off guard because of the subs that are performing the work. It is a design build project. So the errors and omissions on the project will fall under the architect of record and their sub-consultants. Right now, the way the master development agreement is written is that the county is providing the coverage for the professional services under the design. So that coverage will not be required unless you specifically design something on this project, and then you would fall underneath that umbrella based on your capability to provide. Now, there is a $1 million hit. So $1 million of it will hit, and then the program kicks in. It's how that works. I do not anticipate any CVE that would be doing anything associated with the design moving forward on this project. So I wouldn't be concerned about professional liability insurance. To answer any other questions on insurance, I'll just go a little bit further. It is an owner-controlled insurance program, and the owner, Broward County, is providing insurance for all of the workers. So workers' compensation, general liability, everything you have. The only thing that you would have to provide outside of that is auto and things in off-site insurance. So anything on site will be covered under the OSIP. Anything off-site would not be covered by OSIP. And then your auto, the transportation between what's off-site to the site, would not be covered by them.
Okay, thank you. We have a question from S&D Engineering. It's in 3 parts, but I'm going to try to sum it up. It looks like they're curious to know, for engineering inspections, who do they contact?
If this is third-party testing and engineering, Matthew Southwest is managing all of that. So like a threshold inspector, things like that will be through Matthew Southwest. If you write an email to Warren, Warren will take and compile that information and we'll share it with Matthews.
Thank you. Next question is from J.A. Goetz. They are a CVE and SBE, and they would like to know, are there any opportunities for my company, Express Employment Professionals, to participate in providing associates for general labor and construction associates and cleanup?
Yeah, so one of the professional services that we have, A&E, if Carla's out there, we give a little shout out to Carla. Carla has been a great partner of ours. She is a CVE, and she provides labor to us. At any given time, we could be anywhere from 10 to 45 individuals that are cleaning and working around the project. As we progress forward on the hotel in the east, that number is going to increase, both for us as well as the contractors, the prime contractors that are out here. They'll be looking for labor. If you give your information to Warren, we will be listing a rate for the labor and our GMP for what we're proposing. Also, we can share your information with the prime contractors if they ask for that information, or we can just make it public as well for labor. It is a prevailing wage job, so there is a base rate for the labor. So make sure that you're looking at that when you move forward with the GMPs and bidding anything. And for those of you that are familiar with Davis-Bacon, which is the prevailing wage, it's based on March of 2019 is the prevailing wage date that's locked in. I think it's March 28th off the top of my head of 2019. And that will be good through the remainder of the project.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Dadley Phileas, who is a marketing consultant. Are any of the projects dealing with media? For example, media for telling and documenting the story on launch, sculptures, art, etc.
I don't know the answer to that. That might be one that I have to follow back on. If we could maybe just table that question and I'll get back to you. There is a requirement for artwork on the project, but as far as the communication and on that, I wouldn't know the answer to that.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Alexander Jamal. Good afternoon. We are our Z1 Complete Solutions. We do connectivity. Who do we contact for connectivity implementation? I still need to get CB certified as well, and this has been very informative. That's the feedback.
So connectivity, if it's connectivity as far as like human relations and things like that and connecting with people, I would reach out to Lisa Cologne from that aspect of things, and we can see how we can fit you in with our communications moving forward. If it's something to do with technology, low voltage connectivity, I just want to make sure I'm answering the question, then I would reach out to Warren McCraw.
Okay. And telecommunications is what he said.
So I look at telecommunications, a couple of different, so if it's part of the construction of telecommunications, you would definitely want to reach out to Warren McCraw.
Okay, thank you. Next question is from Roger Dowdell. Are there any opportunities to contract specifically for heavy equipment transportation?
All of our contracts read in-place deliveries. So a lot of these companies are going to have lay down either at their facility or outside of their facilities, their manufacturing plants, and they're going to need to get their materials from point A to point B. I would definitely put your name into Warren so that Warren can share that with the prime contractors. I'm assuming you're a CVE. If you're a CVE that can provide that work, that would be great. We have a lot of transportation work being completed by CVEs on the job.
Okay, thank you. The next question is from Umbrella Shore Financial LLC. Is there a point of contact for the minimum insurance coverage for projects?
Well, because the insurance is covered under the OSIP side of it, the minimum insurance would be for offsite. So if you're a CVE and perhaps your home address is your business address as well, and things like that, then you have auto and you don't have the insurances in place, that's where that company could come in handy. But it's a much smaller value than the general liability and workers' compensation, which is paid for by Broward County. So you do not have to provide workers' compensation insurance, general liability insurance that is covered under the OSA.
Okay. We have a few more remaining questions. The next one is from Randy Atlas. Will this project comply with Broward County's CPTED ordinance on security requirements for the Hotel and Convention Center? Has the security risk assessment been completed for critical infrastructure protection?
Wow, I love the really hard questions. I was actually the design manager for the project. I specialize in the design build side of things. We hired our consultants to help make sure that we answered the threats, as well as working with the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard manages the port right here. We ran through all of that information, and it is communicated in and part of our design. So right now that has all been taken care of, and there'll be no future design. As far as what's included in that work itself, all of that will be bid between the structure, the glazing, the site work, all of the requirements are shown into the documents right now will be bid under those scopes of work.
Okay.
And for those of you that may not know, the CPTED or acronym is crime prevention. So it's basically utilizing the design of the project to prevent crime, just in short.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty
Appreciate
neat.
that.
They have a software that can actually read your face, and it can say who you are. So there's some pretty significant technologies that are out there that people don't realize.
Wow. Thank you both. Our next question comes from Daniel Peterson. Daniel is from Patrol Eagle Protection and wants to know, which phase will the security selection take place?
The security selection. Could you be a little bit more specific? Like
Security companies, security services, maybe?
okay,
Daniel,
so
if you would like to type in to be more definitive in your question.
So there's security as far as like cameras and things like that we're installing, and there's also security where we have like a guard or something like that would be there. I just want to make sure I'm answering the question.
He said yes, he's a security company.
Okay, so as far as the cameras and things like that are concerned, it would be under the low voltage scope of work. We would be looking for a low voltage contractor, as well as some of the electricians also do that as well. If you want to do the cameras direct, we typically like to roll that into a package underneath our low voltage or the electrical side of things. Reach out to Warren and give him your contact information. It may be, because it is a pretty significant package, we may be able to break it out, at least some aspect of it, to give you an opportunity to bid on that direct. If not, we'll make sure you're in touch with the prime contractor so you get a chance to bid it.
Okay. Wonderful. Our next question is from Sherry Rudolph. How do you reach the person who is working with cleaning CBE participants?
How do you reach the, if you're looking to provide that labor, reach out to Warren McCraw and he'll get you on the list. If you're looking for those folks, then he can give you that list as well.
Okay, great. Thank you. Let's see here. They were also, this person was also looking for the list of the prime and subcontractors. So our next question is for Maribel from Veronica Vidal. Is a reciprocity with Palm Beach County regarding the SBE and or WMBE?
Yeah, at this time, we do not have reciprocity with none of the counties to the north or the south. So you would have to submit a new certification application, and again, have the ability to demonstrate your continuous operating process in Broward County for at least a year prior to your certification application. However, as John mentioned, this is a multi-year project, and you still have the opportunity to establish your business now and apply for certification a year from now. And we have additional projects. You know, this is one of the projects we're showcasing today, but Broward County has many projects that are going to be advertised in the upcoming weeks, months. So we definitely encourage you to consider our certification program.
Okay, thank you. Our next question comes from Con Builders, Inc. We are a small CBE, SBE contractor. We have about $1 million bonding capacity, so we might not get to the prime list of contractors with Balfour Beatty as a subcontractor. How can we get involved with their prime subcontractors to be part of this project as a CBE, SBE contractor?
I love that question, actually. This is one of the ones that is most important to us. We've been really lucky to be able to get like an MGM with Malcolm to get a large $11,258,000 contract with CBE. But out of the 40 CBEs that we have on site, obviously a lot of those are through our prime contractors. Now that we feel like we're coming out of the pandemic, we're trying to set up a in-person meet and greet. I'm trying to set it up at the convention center where we're at under construction now, if I can pull it off. If not, we're going to find a facility that's large enough that can house us and come in and meet some of those primes. So we're hoping to do that fairly quickly. In the interim, I would reach out to Warren McCraw, and this goes across the board to all of you. Reach out to Warren McCraw, say, hey, this is the scopes that I use, and you guys, some of you have different classifications under the CVE, so make sure those classifications are listed down for Warren. Some of you are commodity suppliers, some of you are prime contractors, some are general contractors, and some of you provide electrical, mechanical, plumbing, and different as a trade. Make sure that's communicated to Warren so that Warren then can communicate that to the prime contractors, because the primes will be calling and going, hey, do you know any CVEs that we can contact? And we'd love to give you your information to those folks, as well as we're asking our primes to reach out to the Office of Economic and Small Business Development directly and get the information from them so we can pair as many of you as we can together. So definitely reach out to Warren. This is one of the biggest concerns we have with work moving forward, is making sure before we were able to meet face to face, we set up a meeting, everybody shows up and we can talk. Now we're trying to do it with technology, and I don't want to miss an opportunity to maximize and get above 30%. So please reach out to Warren and don't be afraid of being a pest. The other thing I would recommend you do is our estimating department, and here in South Florida's got about 10 individuals in it. The more you send them correspondence, the more you pest them, the better chance that you have of an immediate response. Or it's always in the forefront of their mind when a subject comes up. They go, hey, I keep getting an email from this individual, reach out to them. So that's what I would encourage you to do.
Great. Thank you. Our next question comes from Marcella Rogenberg. Safety Matters, a supplier of safety construction products for flooring, and her website is safetymattersinc.org, but we don't install them. Is there any way that we can get installers recommended by your company to introduce our products?
Yes, I'm not completely familiar with the product, but if you have a material, if you are a commodity supplier, material supplier, and you're looking for someone to install the work and bid on the work, then Warren, again, you would reach out to Warren. Try to be as specific as you can in your emails, and this is across to everybody. You just mentioned that, you know, it's a product that you produce, but you don't install it. Make sure Warren knows if there's a link to what your product is, he can get educated on it. And as Warren's going through and scoping it out, he may be encouraging those subcontractors to incorporate your material into it as well. So make sure you're specific. And it's not just for this job. He may be looking at it. Maybe there's a great opportunity for another project that we have.
And this is one of our certified companies. Marcella is one of our CVEs, and I believe she's also certified for the federal certification program.
Awesome. Yes, please.
Great. Our next question comes from David Reve with Reve Coding Consultants, Inc., based out of Fort Lauderdale. Are there opportunities for an SBE CBE coding consultant and inspection firm? We offer in-progress field documentation, QC/QA inspections, field testing, specification design, and enforcement for coatings, paints, fireproofing, waterproofing, etc. And they also consist of NACE certified coating inspectors, level 1, 2, and 3.
You know, quality assurance and quality control is definitely going to be a concern for us moving forward. The hotel is just over 1 million square feet. It is a big box with a bunch of little boxes inside of it and can very easily get something missed. We will be looking for individuals to manage quality control for and on behalf of Balfour Beatty, as well as I think Matthew Southwest will be looking on their side for some consultants to manage it on theirs as well. Email Warren, give Warren the information, and make sure in the email that you tell him I suggested that it's a potential opportunity for us and a potential opportunity for Matthew Southwest on this side. So if you can do that, please.
Okay, great. And looks like this may be our last question. It comes from Bill Henderson with American Forensic Engineering, who is not yet a CBE or SBE. Assuming most of the overall sewer, waste, and stormwater systems design has been done outside of perhaps special sewer connections that may be needed for the restaurant/hotel. Any color appreciated? I suppose the list of prime contractors is where we need to focus. So I guess he's wondering what he should do.
So there's a little bit of the plumbing side. So on the west expansion, I know who that plumber is. It's Right Way Plumbing, and then they'll meet up with the infrastructure on the site, which would be Redland. So I can give you those two names off the top of my head if who's doing that work. As we progress forward, though, I do want to say that you know, we are looking at other projects, and this is across the board. So and with this being the last question, I'll kind of tail end what I wanted to share with the group. Balfour is not just looking for CBEs just for this project. We're looking to continue our partnership outside of the Broward County Convention Center and Hotel projects. And that's for our projects that aren't Broward County related. They may be built in Broward County. They may be built in Miami-Dade County or Palm Beach County. But we want to make sure that we're giving you an opportunity, and we do design build jobs outside of this. So I would encourage you to communicate your information to Warren, whether we mentioned it here or not, if you have additional information you want to mention, as well as we were shortlisted on the Joint Government Center, and we have not finalized our design team on that work. And as we progress forward, we're waiting for the RFP to come out. We'll be looking to partner with some other firms. Now, we cannot sole source on the Joint Government Center with CBEs, but that doesn't mean that we can't be communicating with you and looking for an opportunity for some of the CBEs where you may be joined on other project or other teams for the project. But that is coming out, and that has a 40% goal. And there will be a goal in the design side, the construction side, and the facilities management side. So those of you that aren't familiar, it is a public-private partnership in its true sense. It would be financed, designed, constructed, and maintained by one of those teams that are shortlisted. We prefer it to be us. We really enjoy working with the county, and we're pushing hard to get that job. And we think we're a good partner for that. And it'd be a good partner, not just for Broward County, but for the CBEs as we move forward. So there'll be some more education from us on that project. as well as other opportunities through Warren. So please reach out to Warren McCraw, talk to him about what we have here. There may be other opportunities outside of that. If you're looking for professional services, mention it to Warren. From a public relations outreach, please give your information to Lisa Colon. And let's try to figure out a way to get all of you guys a piece of the pie. There's plenty to go around with 600 CBE starting in 2019, and we're over 900 today. That's pretty exciting. And the county has a lot of money. Those of you that aren't familiar, the penny tax that went through last year, I'll just keep talking. Penny tax last year, it is a significant amount of infrastructure for the next 30 years that will be built. We're looking at the overhead rails. We're looking at a lot of things. So even if there's something today that we did not talk about, you really should figure out how to get in and get enrolled into the program and look at these exciting projects that are coming up. There will be something for everybody, I promise.
Thank you so much, John. And with that, I would like to thank John for an excellent presentation today. Another very successful meet and greet for this very exciting project. We are going to have additional meet and greets for this project. So we encourage you to go to our website for the latest information. We are going to follow up with an email with the list of subcontractors and all the information we promised you today, and the contact information. You will also able to see on the chat some of the information that John referenced, the contact information for his staff, our website, etc. So we encourage all of you to stay connected with our office. Again, visit our website for the latest, sign up for our Business Assistance Weekly newsletter, and we hope to see you again very soon. If you're getting certified, please contact our office. We are here to assist you through that process. Thank you everyone for joining us today, and we hope to see you very soon.